After months of waiting, a new patch is coming for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that's gonna fix a handful of different bugs and much, much more, and we may just know the next Pokemon title coming out this year. Let's take a look. All right, we've got a lot of news to catch up on. I was away for the last week, so we're back at it. Play Pokemon says, attention trainers, we'd like to share some information on patch 1.2.0 for Scarlet and Violet. And we've been waiting for this patch for a long time, right? It's coming at the end of February. It hasn't been confirmed yet to be released yet. Probably around Pokemon Day, and there's a few little nuances to this. I'm gonna kind of gloss through some of the different details, but then highlight some of the bigger ones as we go through it. But this is a big patch, and again, people have been waiting for this patch. There's been performance issues, been a lot of problems, glitching, lag, frame issues, things like that as people have played this game. Is this gonna be the patch that ultimately saves the day? I hate to tell you, it seems like no. So they're gonna add some additional functionality for Pokemon boxes where you can view different summaries like nicknames, markings, held items, things like that. So that's some nice quality of life improvements. You'll be able to swap out held items by pressing Y, which is a feature that was previously available in Pokemon games. You can select all boxes if you want to. When you're in battle team view, you can have your box assigned to a battle team. They'll have a different kind of color, so it's easier to call out. In terms of bug fixes, there's some bugs with Terra Raid battles where a Terra Pokemon's HP doesn't properly reflect damage from certain moves like Play Rough, which was a bugged move from Azumarill going back to the Charizard raids, certain status conditions that occur in Terra Raid battles. So they're fixing the HP gauge in the Terra Raid battles. There's certain bugs where your Pokemon faint, certain bugs where you can't do anything while the Terra moves are happening. So a lot of fixes to Terra Raid battles, which is nice because I will tell you that that's one of the biggest disappointments for me, the upgrades to Terra Raid battles, but then all the kind of like issues that came along with it and how the game kind of lags or doesn't show the proper HP bar or whatever it may be that is a bit frustrating. There was some battle mechanics that I think are pretty big, right? So type matchups against Pokemon that have fainted are no longer going to appear when selecting a move or target during double battles. Zoroark has been terrestrialized to disguise another member of a Pokemon via illusion. Can be identified as Zoroark. That's a bug. So like if you have a Zoroark that terrestrializes and it's pretending to be something else, you were able to actually see that it was Zoroark. There's some other things with its illusion ability and how it displays type matchups. This is a big one though. So the stats of a Dodonzo and a Tatsugiri in its mouth will increase when Dodonzo uses Order Up, even when the move should have been negated. This is a bug and will be fixed. So in VGC, it was actually huge that you could use Order Up Dodonzo with Tatsugiri and get the boost when someone uses Protect. That was a bug this whole time. That's crazy. Like, people legitimately won tournaments or at least place higher because of things like this, right? If a Pokemon terrestrializes after using Destiny Bond and then faints, the effects of Destiny Bond will fail to activate. This is a bug that will also be fixed. So some bugs. Listen, they're gonna patch these things. I'm glad that they're patching them. You know, it is what it is. I do feel like historically Pokemon has been very slow for updates, but they're doing it, right? But here's where we get to the important stuff and kind of the stuff that it's like, really, this is what we're doing here? Will it address an issue that can cause the game to forcibly close at certain locations? As a result of this fix, there may be a reduction of Pokemon and people displayed in certain towns or in the wild. So their solution to these game crashes is actually just to reduce the number of Pokemon and people that exist, which is very interesting. Rather than trying to make it work as it is, they're just gonna reduce the amount of kind of objects in the space, which seems great, but it obviously takes away from some of the immersion or the experience of playing the game. I've already felt like the towns were pretty lifeless to begin with, but that's not a huge deal, right? It's just a small nitpick of mine. But nonetheless, that is going to be their solution. We'll see how it plays out. It seems as like it's an experimental solution, right? So then there's some other things that they're doing about the kind of certain actions can cause the main character's expression to not change. There's some ranked battle bugs, things like that, right? Objects such as Pokeballs may be displayed in certain locations on the field unintentionally. I know I had this on my playthrough. Like anytime I did any cutscenes with Arvin, I would just have a Pokeball sitting on the ground, right? So things like that. And then passerby will no longer be displayed during certain battles that take place in towns. Other select bug fixes will be implemented. And it goes on to say that they're going to actually, we're planning further features and bug fixes not listed in these patch notes. Please check back here for full details when the update data is distributed. Update contents and details are subject to change. Central Leaks reporting on that there were some features not mentioned in the patch notes. Some surprise Pokemon Day additions maybe. Remember that in 2020, they added Galarian Slowpoke with a similar update. So it's possible that this Pokemon Day update, which is coming at the end of the month, is going to have some secret patches on it. It's going to have something new, a new Pokemon, a new form, a new event that we can do. it's very, very likely that we're gonna get something big, and it seems as though this patch, along with whatever these surprises could be, are gonna come simultaneously at the end of the month for Pokemon Day. So basically just stay tuned to the channel. I'll keep you guys updated. Like I said, I'm back at my desk now. I was away for about a little over a week, but we should be good to go there. So interesting stuff with this patch. There's still a couple other things I wanted to cover today, but let me know your thoughts on it. It doesn't seem as though we're getting these tremendous like frame fixes, but until we get the patch, it's hard to say. I am a little disappointed though if that's the case. If like their only solution at this point is like, let's just remove Pokemon and people so that way it runs better, that just feels a little weird to me. And I've got a lot of really cool stuff to cover in this video, so stay tuned. But before that, I want to let you guys know we have a big sale going on for President's Day weekend for Team Shawnee. You guys can go to teamshawnee.com. We just dropped a bunch of brand new designs. We actually dropped 5 new designs for this weekend, so it's about to be lit. Check them out, Paradox forms, much, much more. Pick out your favorite Shawnee shirt and pick it up right now. You can use code Shawnee to get 20% off your order. That's it, dude. You don't have to buy a certain amount of shirts or anything like that. Just straight up 20% off, but that's just for a few days, so don't miss out. Grab the new merch at teamshawnee.com. Treat yourself. Deck out your closet. You're going to look awesome in it. Pick out your favorite Shawnee or Shawnees and tell your friends about it so you don't miss out. Teamshawnee.com. Use code Shawnee for the holiday weekend. So despite all of these bugs and whatever else, the sales data came out for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and they sold 20 million pieces up to this point. Sword and Shield sold 25.68. I think that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is going to be passing Sword and Shield not that far, especially once a DLC is announced. So despite these issues with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, this open world format, this is what people wanted. Clearly, people are paying with their dollar, and it's successful. So say what you want, have your criticisms. You know, obviously I've shared mine. I still think it's a good game, all in all. I thought the story was engaging. I thought the gameplay was good. The first playthrough was fun. I like probably one of the better stories as we get to kind of the apex of it. It does have flaws, obviously, but clearly people have spoken with their dollar, and they've purchased many copies of the game. From there, we have some copyrights from the Pokemon Day website. A new mystery dungeon game is almost guaranteed, and we have this like leaked screenshot here that was getting posted around Twitter. There's some copyright information from Spike Chunsoft. These are trademarks, and it seems as though this is actually hinting towards a Mystery Dungeon version or a new game of Mystery Dungeon. We have rumors from the Riddler. Speaking of multiple titles coming out this year, it would make sense for them to drop a new Mystery Dungeon. I could definitely see it happening. So Mystery Dungeon fans, stay tuned for Pokemon Day because you might be getting that big announcement. And just to be clear, Spike Chunsoft is the video game development company that made Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which makes sense that they would have their copyright in the Pokemon Day data because that's kind of some of the metadata. So it seems as though it's coming, so stay tuned for that. Anime fans rejoice. There's some new information about the new character Roy and a mysterious Pokeball he has. It's also confirmed that Roy is from Kanto. A lot of people speculating that the 2 new protagonists in the anime are actually related to Ash in some way, so I'm sure we'll get more details on that. Seems as though it's very plausible. I personally don't watch the anime, but I find it very interesting that they're rebooting it with new characters. I'm gonna keep an eye on it because it might be interesting. Is it Garganical or Garganackle? I don't know, but there's a code to grab one. First Champ SV, as Sarah B reports. You only have a few days to grab this. There was the Oceania International Championship. They had the Garganical, which was like Poison Terra. You guys can grab that via this code if you want to grab that. It's a competitive ready Pokemon. Kind of cool. I tend to skip most of the distributions, but figured I'd mention it for you guys. And last but not least, we have the Pokemon Day 2023 logo, which has officially been confirmed by Pokemon. So again, we're just about 10 days away or so from Pokemon Day. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure we're gonna get the Mystery Dungeon updates and much, much more. I've got a ton of leaks and stuff to cover, but I'm gonna cover that in a separate video tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And lots of exciting stuff going on here with this patch. Don't miss out on our new Team Shawnee drop, teamshawnee.com. Use code Shawnee. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the patch notes, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.